Mama.
It's recording.
Oh, no, they've been doing it for a while.
Is that showing you? Yep. And then you.
She's blocking.
I'm just going to point it over. Do we need to restart? I haven't started this picture. Have you ever focused on something for hours at a time? Most of us can't say we have, but for people with autism, this is an everyday occurrence. According to the National Autistic Society, 700,000 people are affected worldwide. Through my research, I've learned that many people with autism are never diagnosed with it. This is because autism spectrum disorder is such a complex disease that many doctors aren't able to accurately diagnose their patients until they're much older. Today, I will explain what autism is, the different types of autism, and how it affects one's everyday life. Autism spectrum disorder, also known as autism, is defined as a developmental disorder that affects one's communication and behavior. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, some symptoms of autism include difficulty with communication and interaction. This means that someone with autism may struggle to have a conversation with someone that they don't know. They tend to be uncomfortable around people that they're not familiar with, and many people with autism don't learn to talk until they're much older. I currently know a 3-year-old named Jet who has autism. He can't speak yet. I also know another 3-year-old who can speak clear as day. Another symptom of autism includes restricted interest. This means that someone with autism is only interested in one or two things. This becomes the career for them if they're able to function outside of their household. Another symptom for autism includes repetitive behaviors. This means that someone with autism may like to turn the light off 3 times before they leave their room. They may check the door 4 times before they leave the house. Doing certain behaviors a certain number of times may give comfort to someone with autism. Symptoms generally appear between ages 1 to 2. This is also when doctors will screen for autism. The ratio of autistic boys to autistic girls is 3 to 1. This is because many girls with autism are never diagnosed. Their symptoms generally are never the same as boys, and they're better at covering up their symptoms and imitating other people of their age. Types of autism. Different types of autism. The first type of autism we're going to discuss is autistic disorder. This is the lowest functioning type of autism, and some of their symptoms include communication issues, repetitive behaviors, issues being touched, and sensory overload. Sensory overload is when one person is overwhelmed by the sounds, the sights, the smells, just the number of people around them. They experience sensory overload. This means they experience feelings of irritability, restlessness, discomfort, fear, stress, anxiety. They may become overly excited or try to cover their eyes and ears from the sights and sounds. The second type of autism is Asperger's syndrome. This is a milder form of autistic disorder. It has milder symptoms, unusual behaviors, unusual interests, and social challenges. I know a girl who has Asperger's syndrome who isn't able to tie a knot because of the fine motor skills that it requires. The third type of autism we're going to discuss is pervasive developmental disorder. It can be abbreviated PDD-NOS, which stands for pervasive developmental disorder not otherwise specified. This is the highest functioning type of autistic person. They don't fit into any other categories, and many people with PDD-NOS do not know that they have it. Life for a person with autism is much different than a life for us. We tend to not have a problem wearing something uncomfortable or buttoning our shirt or tying a knot. People with autism aren't always able to do these things because of their fine motor skills. Fine motor skills involve your hands and fingers. This means you'll be buttoning things up and tying knots. Those things are hard for autistic people and they require help. They don't value doing things on their own, or most of them don't care how they look to other people, not being able to do things. Autism is a developmental disorder that impacts one's communication and behavior issues. In conclusion, all three types of autism are difficult to live with. However, autistic people can lead wonderful lives when their community knows what they are dealing with and offer unconditional support.
Perfect.
5 minutes, baby!
Hey!